we need to take a moment, and you're going to hear and see plenty of it, and I don't think it's going to go away, but to pay attention to what the Celtics are doing beyond the arc. Because what they did was attempt 43 threes a night and make 16 and a half a night on their way to being a top 10 efficient offense, a top 10 team all time in the NBA, on their way to running with ease to the NBA Finals. It's been 4 games, but their clip this year is 50 attempted threes a night. They're making 21 and a half, 21, 22. And they're shooting an NBA best. Of course, both of those lead the NBA, 43% from three. And get this, 52% of their points are coming from the three ball. Go last season, 41% from the three, 40% in the playoffs. So they kept it up. They have 52%, more of half their scoring coming from the three, and they have a top 5 perimeter defense where they're only allowing their opponents to make 10 or 11 threes a night. The second the Celtics step into your building, they are 12 threes better than you. The second they step in their building, in your building, they have a 36-point lead. Sit on that. And because what I want to think on this is, the one team I have to compare them to is the Warriors, and that's the 4-time world champion Warriors, 2015, 2017, 2018. Let's start with 2015. They were getting 29% of their scoring from three. They got up to 33% in the playoffs. 2017, 33% from three. Dropped down by 1%. 2018, 30% of their points from three, and they kept that up through the postseason. 2022, 39% of their points from three, 38% in the playoffs. So what clip they were hitting at, all but one, they were able to sustain it or were off by 1%. All but one of those playoff runs, which makes it insane to think about. And when they're only allowing 10 threes a night and they're hitting 12 on their end, think about the starting 5. Derek White, Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, Al Horford. All can guard the 1 through 5. All can hit the 3. And then we see a performance they'll go with Peyton Pritchard did. 8 makes from deep. 10 total makes in the game on a game where Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown combined for 1 made 3. And they still find a way to win. With the Bucks leading at half, they held them to 3 for 12 from 3. In the second half, they went 8 for 19 from deep. Again, that's being plus 15 on the outside. What this team is doing right now is going to have repercussions for years to come. We saw it after their first run. And my boy Ante called it anytime we talked about the playoffs. He would say, if the Celtics put it together and if they win, watch what the rest of the league does. Elite athletic wings, two-way players, but shooting the 3, and everyone's going to start chucking up 40-plus threes a night. So the Celtics took that and said, forget it. We're going to go 50-plus attempts a night. They were at a ridiculous clip. 43 a night. Is it sustainable? And it is 3 or die is the way they live, but they're thriving and they're going to keep it up. And when you think of their guys playing 30 or more minutes a night, the defensive ratings they have, Jaylen Brown, 107, Derek White, 108, Drew Holiday, 109, Jayson Tatum, 109, all drawing really tough matchups. So those D ratings may not jump off the page at you, but think about everything they're doing at the other end. Jaylen Brown averaging 26 points per game, Derek White, 18, Drew Holiday, 13, Jayson Tatum, 28 and a half a night. They have 2 all-pro caliber wings in the Jays, which no one's going to shy away from. They have a Jayson Tatum that's off to a run, fixing his shot to be back into the MVP conversation after putting together a ridiculous run to the finals where Jaylen Brown was a consistent player while Jayson Tatum was the playmaker. And they bring back the core, and they don't have Kristaps Porzingis yet, but they're putting up these numbers. And what got me thinking on this one is Doc Rivers after the game said this: the Celtics are a made basketball team now. They play without any obstacles. Winning that title has taken them to another level. You can feel it when they play. They have complete trust in the past. They trust each other. No one in the league does it better than them right now. Winning that title has taken them to another level. They play without any obstacles. We talked about it before the season, and Tay and I were fresh off media day for the Celtics. And what you heard was a team that wasn't shying away from, it's all about winning another. It's all about doing it again. It's all about embracing that process and owning it. When Joe Mazzulla had them show up for 82 games and had them show up all throughout the postseason, it impressed me. But then you see them getting ready for the season. Jaylen Brown came back more yoked than he was before, which says a lot. Jayson Tatum, more calm, more poised, more motivated because of what happened in the Olympics to him. But everyone, from the Drew Holidays to the Kristaps Porzingises to the Derek Whites to the Xavier Tillmans, buying in, elevating their game, to the Peyton Pritchards, buying in and elevating their game. They play without any obstacles because the biggest obstacle year after year for the Celtics was themselves. Let's go back to when they get to the finals the first time with this sort of nucleus, with Ime Udoka as a head coach, with Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown starting to ascend, and they're up on the Warriors, and then they falter in 6. Then they can't even get past the Heat in the following postseason, where the pressure and the moment and the stage was too much. They're playing loose. They're playing confident. They're playing with, they see the process and the investment that they make in the offseason and the regular season pays back with putting them into immortality, which it did by them getting the 18th banner, which it did by them playing at the level that they did. They're going to do it again. So what does this all mean, right? And you know me, I've been vocal. They're repeating. I don't see anyone stopping them. They were healthy. They cruised through the playoffs. Even with Porzingis going down, they still found a way to win. And matched up with a very tough Dallas Mavericks team, defensively, what they bring, where they can hit anyone. They have the physicality. They have the elite guys on the outside, and they can score at an insane clip, but can win with defense. Like, no one can match that. So what does this mean? Just taking 53s a night and hitting at a 43% clip, is that sustainable by them? I don't think so, but I wouldn't be shocked if they prove me wrong. Do they repeat as champions? I think so. It'll be hard, really hard, but I think they do it. Even with the East loading up, even with the Thunder loading up, even with the Timberwolves loading up, and the increased pressure and, the spotlight that's under this team. But they did it with bigger pressure, with more anxiety in. Now it's loose. Now it's confidence. It's not Steve Kerr. It's Joe Mazzulla. It's not Steph and Clay. It's Tatum and Brown. How the Warriors changed how basketball is played, especially for Steph Curry with someone at his size. We see guys that are built like NBA players, 6'8 plus, that are built like insane athletes. Look at Jaylen Brown, who can jump through the roof, but keep up on the outside with insane footwork with anyone in the league. Like Steph and the Warriors changed how basketball is played. Tatum and the Celtics are doing the same. Look at how the rest of the NBA responded. Look at that start that they got off to. For them to be doing what they're doing, 50 attempted threes a night and 52% of their scoring coming from the long ball, and then they suffocate the opposition on the other end from the outside like they just did to the Bucks. The confidence that they have, the ability, the depth, even with the injuries they're handed, and a team that's not done adding. While all the talk about the Celtics, really the only falter you could give them this offseason is who's going to be the next owner. Inside that building, none of them care, because inside of that building, they all got better. And inside that building, they're still buying in. This Celtics team will have an impact on the game for years and years and years to come. We've seen it this offseason, but it's from the game on down, the trickle-down effect, how teams are built, how superstars approach a game, and what people get paid for. And as someone that didn't fully enjoy that last run last season, because I was waiting for the shoe to drop, I was waiting for the Jays of the past to pull through. I embrace greatness. I love to enjoy greatness. I will never hate on greatness. You sit back, you watch the season, and you enjoy it. And you enjoy this postseason. Try and pick the holes where you can. You can't. They don't have any. Guys will get injured. Additions will be made at the deadline. They will have their hiccups. But this is a team that's rolling, more locked in than any other one in the league. And while the Knicks make great additions like Karl Anthony Towns, but even with their core, they're trying to figure themselves out. While the 76ers don't know when they'll get Joel Embiid and Paul George, and while the Thunder and the Timberwolves do the same, try to figure out new additions, try to figure out rotations, and while they're off to good starts, try to figure out new. The Celtics brought their core back. They didn't change a damn thing about their offense. They only got better. They have the same head coach, the same GM, the same front office. And like we saw on night 1 and we saw on night 4 for them, and I think what we're going to see on night 50 in 82, which is insane to think about. Joe Mazzulla has come out and he said it. I will attempt these many threes a game. No matter what, you put up 42 a night. Because more nights than not, more games than not in a 7-game series, we are going to hit at a 44% or better clip. They're coming out and doing that now, but they up the scoring and they're making the Heat even hotter on the defensive end. Like we've seen with the Warriors. And I pointed out their 4 title runs because that's all we can compare it to of a team with the shooting depth, with the offensive depth, and what they do. And mind you, one key stat I left off, 52% of their points are coming from threes. They're making 21.5 a night. They are assisting on 66% of made threes. You watch it and you think, is this real? You watch it and you go, can it be sustainable? Because of that. And what Doc Rivers says, they trust each other. They're unlocked. There are no obstacles. The ball leaves their hand. It comes back around. They shoot the 3. They know it's going in. And if it doesn't, they get the stops at the other end. Enjoy this Celtics team. Enjoy this run. If you're Boston, I know you're going to. If you're outside of it, you're going to hate it. And I get it. But understand the history we could potentially, and I'm confident in, see unfold in front of us on another run.